Thought this was gonna be a street fight? You're damn right it is.
Hey guys, Pat Ryarchy here, also known as the Patriarchy. Kicking social justice ass, well into 2017. Trolls say they posed as transgender gamers as part of hoax. So here's what happened. Buzzfeed had this article, this news article, that they reported on about 4 transgender women. So they were men who identified as women, or they were women. I don't know if they were gender fluid or they whatever, but it was an all-female gaming tournament. So it was a tournament that you had to be a female to enter, from what I know. So they tried to enter, and the tournament basically asked them, like, hey, do you have any way to confirm that you're a female, like passports or IDs or something? And they said no, so they said, okay, well, you can't enter. Pretty basic stuff. Well, BuzzFeed took that. Here was the original article, which they have taken down this headline. These trans women were asked to show their passports to enter a female gaming tournament. No males are allowed. Please take care. Fake your gender can be... please take care. Fake your gender can be penalized. A group of transgender women were barred from taking part in female online gaming tournament after being told by organizer they could be penalized for faking their gender. They're Bruce Jenner. Also, by the way, watching Jordan Peterson talk about this literally right now, he's talking about the gender fluidity stuff. And before I go into this, he makes a really great point about how you can find all these complexities in human existence. But he says the thing we did with all those complexities, like they're trying to do now with gender fluidity with this small minority of people that they're finding, they're saying that he says that we have to play a game by which we can play, like we can obey the rules, and that means like it's easier to have the male-female system of things because it just works. It's how you can progress over centuries and make it work. And I would just very recommend this. It's going on right now. It's an interview with him on Joe Rogan, but I really liked his point on that. His point was saying like there's no reason to overcomplicate things that we know are complicated because we've already simplified them well enough in a reasonable way in enlightenment and reason and with science and what we know to keep it structured in a well enough way that it keeps growing. He's saying in this Marxist idea today, the scientific way that is held with Marxism, it is to just make things way more complicated than they need to be because that destroys the structure. And if you destroy the structure, you have chaos. And with chaos, anyone can rise to power. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that was the original article that BuzzFeed took down. Now, some guy went on Paul Joseph Watson's show on Infowars. But don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Paul Joseph Watson or Infowars guy. But it seems legit because if you look at the pictures and stuff, this just seems like this was trolls. Updated. This post has been rewritten to reflect the fact a group of trolls claim they tricked BuzzFeed News into believing they were transgender gamers who got rejected from a female online gaming tournament after the organizers refused their entry. A group of trolls say they tricked BuzzFeed News when they Okay, look at these guys. Okay, this looks like trolling to me. That looks like a dude who like put a wig on. I mean, I could be wrong. These could actually be 4 people who are trans. I've been to some stuff on college campuses where they're having like LGBT things and trans people and gay people show up and they do look like this. But I could still see this being trolls too. I mean, come on. Like, this just screams like 4chan. It really does. One of the trolls, Sly Buell Regilio, told Paul Joseph Watson of Infowars that the group decided to pose as a transgender team for laughs. Regilio had initially told BuzzFeed News that he was a transgender gamer who lives in Sicily, Italy, undergoing gender transition. He then told Infowars that he had lied and bombarded BuzzFeed News with poor me victim approach when he talked about not being able to compete. Oh, well, if he did tell BuzzFeed that and they're agreeing to that, then I think this confirms the story that this guy was a troll that fucked with BuzzFeed. Because why would they rewrite the whole article then? I think this is actually... I'm not going to say it's 100% confirmed, but this is BuzzFeed, so we'll say it's confirmed by their fucking standards. Did they do any research on this? I bet they just got an email from this guy, and they were like, bigotry. And it gets better. This is a lot. There's a lot to this. He initially told BuzzFeed News, "Now, when I saw this email, I almost broke down to tears. Here I am thinking we finally have a shot to shine and show our true colors to the gaming world, and then we get shut down based on our looks because we didn't look female enough for them. After being rejected, Regillo wrote to the Munich Finest Gaming support team asking for an explanation about why they were banned and accusing the organizers of discrimination. BuzzFeed News confirmed the incident with the contest organizers, ECL's Director of Communications, Anna Rozwandowicz, told BuzzFeed News that Regillo's team was not barred because they are transgender, but because they failed to produce female passports. The bottom line of this dispute is that the Female Open Tournament is a German event held in Germany, organized by a German company. Oh man, I love this, a German gaming event. And as such, rule books have to comply with German common law, she said. And in Germany, at this point, your official legal gender is the one that's listed in your passport or any other government-issued ID. Oh, so it's the law. I completely understand the team's frustration at the situation, but I also understand that our admins have done their jobs by following the rules, and it was required of them. BuzzFeed News has reached out for comment from the tournament organizers and will update their post. Your sign-up has been rejected. You requested to join CSGO 5-on-5 Female Open Summer 2017 has been rejected for this reason. No males are allowed. Please take care of your gender. Please take care your gender. Wait, please take care your gender can be penalized. Should this reason no longer be valid, feel free to submit a new request. Oh my god. This is rather sickening, to be frank. I never thought I'd be judged based off my looks, which clearly is the main reason you deemed our sign-up request, seeing as you didn't message us for clarification. Completely disgusting, and now we have to rush around for passports that show our gender. If your company discriminates against the LGBTQ+ community, you should at least put it in the rules for the tournaments that it's no transgenders allowed, so we wouldn't waste our time. Thanks for ruining my weekend. I love it. Okay, so the funniest part is the comments on this BuzzFeed article, right? I'm not going to go look at the comments because I don't want to... Well, actually I will, but I'll blur them out. But some of these comments... Some of these people, every one of these comments is talking about transphobic. This one asshole in here. Trans women are women. Fuck out of here with your transphobic shit. This is before the whole thing came out as fake trolls. The virtue signaling on this article from people on BuzzFeed. I mean, everyone on it, there's just like, every time anyone wrote anything on here, it's like, you're transphobic, you're a bigot, you don't understand. Here we go. If Ronda Rousey and Jim Parsons got in a fight, who do you think would have a physical advantage? Your views about gender are archaic. What a false equivalency that is. Oh, well, just because men are predominantly physically superior to women in physical things, that doesn't mean that, it's like, but Ronda Rousey could kick Jim Parsons' ass. Okay. Okay, what if she fought The Rock? Is there any woman that could beat up The Rock? I don't think so. I don't think there's probably one woman in the world that could beat up, let's even go bigger than that. Let's say, Conor McGregor. Let's say a woman beat him up. I don't think it's very likely. But, yeah, but you're going to try to do this false equivalency. You know, like, the strongest man in the world cannot be beat by any woman. So, boom, your argument's done. Because there is no woman to match that man. If there was, LeBron James would have a female equal in basketball, which he does not. So your ideas of gender are, it's not archaic, they're just stupid. But it's wonderful. And then everyone keeps saying they're, God, this stuff is great. I think this was a fair call, right? And then people come down. I understand your point, but the gamers need to treat all women equally. Either ask for gender verification for all of the women, even the obvious ones, or believe every claim of womanhood. Trans women shouldn't be signed out due to their appearance. I fucking love it. The virtue signaling on here. Oh my god. Oh, this is so good. And the whole thing on here, they keep telling, this one point, this guy tells another guy that you need to learn biology and basic shit, and this guy's like, well, actually, I'm a biologist, I went to college for that, and he's like, well, your schooling was shit, you don't understand the science. You may not be trying to be an asshole, but kinda you are. Suicide rates do tend to drop after transition, but the drop isn't as steep as you might expect because trans folks are consistently bombarded with hate, bigotry, and violence. It's due to the environment. Okay, so right now we have proof here that trolls lied about this and BuzzFeed ran with the story. I've in several videos confirmed. Remember that Muslim teen that lied about getting got kidnapped by Trump supporters in New York and stuff, and it turns out she was just scared of her radical Islamic father? These stories happen all the time. Smugly Puff, we constantly debunk hate crimes. in this community for a small population. So if we're debunking, let's say I've debunked a dozen hate crimes, just me, and I've watched several more, out of a population of 0.3%. That means actually these hate crimes are so low. So this argument always that trans people suffer from discrimination constantly from things like this. There's really no proof of it. It's just something people perpetuate. The actual statistics on it aren't that strong if you look them up, and a lot of them could be explained as like, well, if that person isn't actually trans, like these guys, it doesn't count. And especially because they're doing that to make a point about it. Lastly, just think because you think it's not natural doesn't mean you're right. Being transgender may not be the norm, but that doesn't make it unnatural. Actually, that's kind of... well, never mind. Psychology and biology, actual science, both affirm that being trans is natural and not a mental illness or some bizarre phenomenon. Also, how does reproduction have anything to do with being trans? You completely lost me there. These are the comments, like I said, all before this came out as fake, right? Like, everyone on here was just, it was all these trans bigots. I mean, Buzzfeed put this article out there and everyone just ran with it. Passports identify sex, not gender. Gender is how you believe. Sex is what you are. Most of the commentators can comprehend your statement. Trans want to pretend they can change their biological sex with a constellation of drugs and crude surgery. Yeah. Let's see. There's more here. Oh my god, I gotta find men. God damn, I should have saved some of the best comments. There was really some good ones. I really recommend going and reading these comments. I'm so sick of trans women not having any respect for females. I hear the organization that see through the BS. They don't allow trans women into the event, just not these four, so that's a bit of a fact. They did allow trans women into the event. Oh, so they did allow trans women, just not these guys who were pranking. So the thing wasn't big. They actually let trans women into the event, just not these guys who were trolling. Oh my god. This stuff here is one of my favorite. This comment is a good example of how you should seriously consider how moronic your comment may be, even well-intended. Listen to this shit. Because this guy said both sides on here are making really stupid points. Okay, this guy says, implies the transphobic demonstrated by the ESL is a valid side. Similar arguments are made by MRAs, red pillars, gamergators, and other garbage human beings. Yeah, this person doesn't sound like a bigot. They sound like a really nice person. SGW. Oh my god, I love it. So basically women of trans experience get punished because of some dumbass man. That's literally all I got out of this, because idiot beta males that try to enter women-only gaming spaces, trans women or gender non-conforming women get the short end of the stick. Warning, a lot of transphobic in the comments. In your version of feminism is as patriarchal as the misogyny that makes feminism necessary in the first place. Your feminism is garbage. Intersectional feminism means recognizing that transgender women are women, and that that the threat of men trolling an all-women tournament does not justify the treatment these women receive from the ESL. None of the above should need explaining, and yet it constantly sickening does. I fucking love it. I love it. This is fucking great for... oh man, this is like steroids. Oh my god. One guy on here, he did a great point. He said he's met tons of trans people who've never described hating women. I said, well, for 0.3 of a population, how many have you met, though? If you've met, like, 2, you've met a lot, so I don't know. Maybe a lot of them are lying, which I think most of them were. Okay. Wait, there was one. We'll get to one last one. There was one that was absolutely fucking hilarious. And, oh yeah, it was, God, yeah, well, I love this one. Everyone started commenting that it was a hoax, and then it became a troll battle. It was just trolls fighting everyone else on here. But there was one comment where somebody said, so all my trans friends and female friends get bullied and harassed on whenever they go online and they go on co-op play. I was like, I'm about to blow your mind. Everyone online gets harassed and trolled when they go on. I'm like, you either fucking talk or you walk. I'm like, you talk shit when you game online. It's part of it. Everyone deals with it. In fact, all my personal experiences when I've seen a girl be online, she gets, like, every guy flirting with her and treating her cool. And then every time I go on, like, I get called a faggot and a cocksucker and stuff for, like, the whole game, so. But I love that whenever women get bullied or anything, or gay people, it's just them. It's like, that's the internet, you pussy! But this is terrific. Trolled again. BuzzFeed posted fake news, and then they retracted it. but they tried to cover it up like it was a news story, like trolls got us. And the comment section showed how people roll with this stuff. It just shows the cultural Marxism that comes from this bullshit. Like, it's funny, we can call them fake news because they do they'll just take a fake story all the time. This is like when Bering trolled Steve Shives that time. If you ever tell an SJW or a transgender and the shit happened, they just believe it. They completely drop any kind of skepticism. They're like, no, it's true, because they want to believe that people are out there just beating the shit out of trans. It's hilarious because it makes their narrative more true. Because if they can make things crazy, I guess if they think they can go the chaos enough, they can compete against Trump and all that. But if you want to fight chaos versus Trump's chaos, or 4chan or the Pepe movement, I mean, goddamn, they're trying to kill Pepe. The guy who created Pepe the Frog, he tried to kill Pepe. He's like, kill Pepe, and they said they want to try to get it a creator kills off internet meme co-opted by white supremacists. Completely ignoring the fact that that's what Hillary and them said, and that's why people started trolling with Pepe. He's a white supremacist, but whatever. But now Pepe's risen 3 days later. He's like Jesus. I mean, we are Legion. You can't kill Pepe. He's endless. We keep winning. We defeated Shia. I mean, don't get into these kind of battles with us. It's just not worth it. You're not going to win. It's just not worth it. Damn it, Harambe. A rabbit's being really loud in the other room. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? BuzzFeed trolled the shit out of these mofos. This is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. I hope this blows up a lot bigger than it is. I mean, these guys BuzzFeed got trolled like fuck. I'd love to talk to one of these guys. I guess Paul Joseph Watson talked to one of them, so look up for that on the internet, and he explains it. But, great. If this story isn't real and these guys aren't actually the troll stuff, like, let me know if you have any updates on it. But from what I could find, it seems legit. Anyways, the patriarchy, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, go fuck yourselves.
Foucault was the person who famously pronounced that psychiatric diagnostic categories were primarily social in origin rather than biological. And, you know, I read Foucault's work. I think it was Madness and Civilization, where he advanced that particular doctrine. You can actually read Foucault, unlike Derrida and Lacan, but I just found what he was writing obvious. I knew from my clinical training that psychiatric categories have a heavy sociological construction, partly because psychiatry isn't a science. Medicine isn't a science. It's an applied science. Those aren't the same thing at all. And, you know, a pure science is a pure science. It deals with scientific categories, like atoms. But an applied science, well, it's a compromise between all sorts of different things. And mental illnesses themselves are shaped by the social environment, even though often they have a biological root. The way they manifest themselves is clearly shaped by society and language.